In the dusty village of Mugumo, where the acacia trees whispered secrets to the wind, stood Chania Primary School, a once proud institution now crumbling under the weight of neglect. Its walls bore cracks like tired wrinkles. Its chalkboards faded like forgotten memories. Yet, what the community didn't know was that their contributions, all the harambis, donations, and government bursaries, never truly reached the children. At the heart of this rot stood Madame Veru, the iron-fisted head teacher of Chania. Elegant, always in polished heels and neatly pressed Ankara dresses, she was respected and feared. She carried herself with the aura of a queen, her office a throne room of authority, her word unquestioned. Madame Veru had a secret. For many years, she'd been diverting school funds into her personal ventures, a shop in town, a boda business, even a plot of land by the river where she was building a private home. She admits students into the various classrooms without the class teacher's notice. Every time the district education office sent money for textbooks or repairs, she'd gather her staff and announce, "We must be wise with resources. Let us prioritize essential needs and trust me to handle the rest." But the rest of the money always disappeared. Mr. Obuya, the science teacher, began noticing inconsistencies. He had requested lab equipment 3 terms ago, yet still used broken beakers and shared test tubes. Meanwhile, Madame Veru drove to school in a new Toyota Axio. "Where is the money going?" he whispered to Miss Wanjiku, the youngest teacher, who had just started her career and still had hope in her eyes. Wanjiku hesitated. "You know how it is here. Questioning the head is like shouting at thunder." But Obuya didn't stop digging. He started collecting receipts, tracking budgets, making calls to the DEO office. The more he uncovered, the clearer it became Madame Veru had turned the school into her personal bank. Then came the inspection. Word spread that an education audit team was coming from the county. The school buzzed with whispers. Madame Veru summoned her staff. "Listen carefully," she said, her voice cold. "No one speaks to the inspectors without my knowledge. We will present unity. Is that clear?" She tried to bribe them with an envelope of cash, subtly slipped into each teacher's pigeonhole. Most kept quiet, but not Obuya. The day of the audit arrived. Men and women in stiff suits walked the school grounds, taking notes, asking questions. Madame Veru smiled and spun tales of dedication and sacrifice. But when one inspector pulled Miss Wanjiku aside, she broke. Her voice trembled, but her words were clear. She told the truth. And when Obuya handed over his records, the final nail was driven. 2 weeks later, Madame Veru was removed from office. The day she was escorted out, she didn't speak. She just looked at the cracked school bell, the one she always said they couldn't afford to replace, and for once, she looked small. The staff gathered under the Mugumo tree that afternoon, unsure of what came next. Mr. Obuya stood up and said, "She may have taken our money, but she never took our duty as teachers. Let's rebuild this place stone by stone, to make the school a better place for learners." And so they did. Moral lesson: when leadership chooses money over service, the foundations crumble, but truth, even whispered, can bring down giants.